Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope this is going to be a good video for you because I'm going to be testing new technology, a new powder by Winchester called StaBALL Match in my 308 with 150 grain Nosler bullet, ballistic tip. Target is set up at 100 yards. Let's get to shooting. I really get excited about newer technology, especially when it comes to the development of propellants that are supposedly temperature unstable, which means that you can shoot at 30 degrees to 100 degrees and have very little velocity swing and maintain the proper pressure in your cartridge case so that you have good standard deviation, extreme spread. We're going to test that today. Also, they coat these powders with new additives that keep your barrel clean from a copper eraser or a carbon fouling situation so that your accuracy is better. So we're going to test that today with that Winchester StaBALL Match. Now it's designed for the 223 and 308 caliber. On the bench today I have my 308. I did test in a previous video 223 cases, and the powder just didn't work out well for my needs in terms of what I was looking for, which is higher velocity based upon bullet weight. But the powder did work. Various load with that StaBALL Match with 150 grain Nosler ballistic tip. Now it's a good hunting bullet and I've had a lot of pretty good luck with it, but with this powder we're going to check it out. So I've got 4 loads. This comes right out of the Hodgdon manual because this is a newer powder, and the older manuals as far as Nosler, etc., you know, they haven't tested that powder that I can tell anyway, but Hodgdon did, so we're going to be using their numbers. Alright, so let's get going with the shooting. The first up will be 48.5 grains. According to Hodgdon's manual, using a Nosler 150 grain bullet, the top speed is supposed to be right at 2,900. Well, we'll see if I can get up to 2,900 feet per second. Okay, let's get shooting. Okay, for those of you that want to know, I'm using Federal cases, Winchester large rifle primers. There goes the 150s, the Nosler, the StaBALL Match. Be the target, little 3-inch target on the left. Oh man, 2943 already. Uh-oh. And I've got 4 more loads to go. Well, let's proceed. Primer looks okay. Wow. That's why we test, folks. This may be the shortest session ever. $29.02. About 3/4 inch group, I'd say. 29.08. Okay. Well, let's let the barrel cool down. Let's proceed cautiously. Even though the cases aren't showing anything, that's the speed that Hodgdon shows for their max load. So this is where you step up incrementally and make sure you check for everything. Alright, go reset the camera. The next load is just a half a grain more to 49 grains. Let's get to shooting. If you watched my last week's case inspection report after the range, you can see where sometimes the case will tell you what your overpressure situation is. But one of the first indicators for maybe optimum pressure or overpressure is the chronograph. And that speed at 2900 is what Hodgson put on their website for StaBALL Match and 150 grain Nosler ballistic tip at its top load of 50 grains, which is compacted. So we'll proceed cautiously. So here's the next 3 shots, and this is like I said, only half a grain, still 1 full grain below max at 49. Alright, target just above the last one I shot. Get comfortable behind here. Okay, not too big of a climb, 2948. But we'll check out the standard deviation extreme spread here. Not really afraid of that speed, I just like something that matches the numbers. $29.48 duplicate. All right, I like that. And I really like that group. 2947. This is going to be excellent, folks. Let me give you the numbers. Wow. Average 2947. Standard deviation 1. Extreme spread 1. 2948, 2948, 2947. Can't beat that with a 10-foot pole, and the accuracy looked good. I may have found my new powder, but let's go ahead and proceed. Now, in prior testing with this 308, I tested 125 grains, and this rifle really liked them and gave me really good numbers, over 3,100 feet per second, which would be a good crossover for smaller, medium-sized game on down to varmints. So this 150 grain, in my book, is more of a traditional deer load, deer-sized load. And to get that standard deviation and that speed, an average of 2947, normally you just stop right there. But I've got 6 more cartridges to shoot. I'm only going up a half a grain, and I feel comfortable with that. But I'll check each case now. All right, so here we go with this is 49.5. For those of you that don't know it, this is my Savage FCPK Model 10 with a 24-inch barrel. It's got an Oryx chassis that I put on, and it's a pretty good shooter. Get oriented here. be the target right next to the last one I shot. Okay, 2974. That's pretty uniform. 2947 to 2974 on a half a grain. Primer's starting to flatten. Alright, here we go. I'm shooting at about a 10 to 15% uphill grade. I'm trying to figure that one out too. $29.92. Whoa. Well, everything still looks good. No ejection marks. Primer's starting to flatten, but not too bad. Well, let's see how this group goes. Looks to be pretty good with 2 shots anyway. Okay, that was probably more human error for that to happen on that third shot, because that was also 29.92. Okay, that last shot went a little bit to the right. I'm absolutely convinced that that was me. Don't you just hate that phraseology every time that you hear it? It is what it is. No, it is what you make it. You know, if a kid that I was coaching came up to me and made a big mistake on the field and came up to me and said, "Coach, it is what it is," I'd say, well, your "is what it is on the bench until you could admit to me it is what you made it. Alright, so last 3 shots. This is 50 grains and it is a compressed load according to the manual. I'm already well over the top speed and I'm happy for that, as long as I don't have signs of pressure and have pretty good accuracy and precision numbers. So let's go ahead here, be the last target, be the one just below the last one I shot. Hold. $29.98. Primer looks good. $29.78. Primer looks good. All right, take a breath. This is the last shot. It has to be the best. All right, pretty good group. $29.99. All right, let's go over those numbers. Okay, folks, well, let's gather up that target, analyze it. So far, so good. Alright, here we go. It's Target StaBALL Match, 150 grain Nosler ballistic tip. Max load is 50 grains, supposed to do 2,900 feet per second. The COL tested was 2.800. So we started out with 48.5. That was an average of 2,917, a standard deviation of 22, extreme spread of 41, and you might have heard I got a little bit cautious there because of that speed. But it went up anyway to 49 grains. That was an average of 2947, an SD of 1, an extreme spread of 1. There's no such thing as 0, folks. So I put 4 stars by that baby. Okay, then for 49.5, an average of 2986, SD of 10, extreme spread of 18, and I'm sure that that was shooter error. Okay, then 50 grains is a compacted load or compressed load, an average of 2,991, an SD 11, and extreme spread of 21. All right, let's put some calipers on this, center to center. That first group, I'm going to call it 0.571. The second group, I'm going to call that 0.499. Third group, that opened up quite a bit because of the shooter error. That's 0.774. Last group, .487. All right, folks. Well, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment if you will. Check your subscriptions. But no matter what, folks, as usual, may God bless you all. See you again next time. Goodbye.